In the unforgiving heart of the Old West, where law was as rough as the land itself, a woman made a choice that defied every expectation and risked everything she held dear. When a desperate fugitive came knocking at her door, hunted by those who sought to end his life, she did not turn him away. Instead, she hid him under her very bed, a secret that could have cost her everything. What happened in the month that followed was a testament to courage, loyalty, and the extraordinary bonds forged in the shadows of danger. Her small cabin, tucked away from the dusty main street, became a sanctuary for a man whose past was marked by conflict and flight. She risked whispers, suspicion, and the harshest consequences to protect a stranger, driven by a quiet conviction that everyone deserves a chance at redemption. This act of bravery was more than defiance. It was a spark that ignited hope in a land where fear and suspicion ruled. Little did she know, the man she sheltered would soon return, not as a hunted fugitive, but as the very savior her village desperately needed. As the days turned into weeks, their secret grew heavier with the weight of impending danger. Outside, the world was unforgiving and relentless, but inside that humble home, a bond of trust and gratitude flourished. She saw in him not just a fugitive, but a man willing to fight for a cause greater than himself. The woman who hid a stranger under her bed became the catalyst for a story that would change the fate of an entire community. This is not merely a tale of survival, but a powerful journey through fear, hope, and sacrifice. A reminder that in the wildest and most lawless places, the strength of the human spirit can shine brightest when tested by adversity. It calls us to reconsider what courage means and challenges us to find humanity in even the most unlikely of allies. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear is a story of darkness turned to light, of danger transformed into salvation, and of how one woman's bravery in hiding a fugitive will become the legend that saved her village in the unforgiving West. The woman, named Mary, was no stranger to hardship and loss, having faced the harsh realities of frontier life with quiet strength and unwavering resolve. Her cabin stood at the edge of a small village, a place where suspicion and fear often ruled, and kindness was a rare commodity. When the fugitive appeared at her door one chilly evening, bruised and desperate, Mary's first instinct was not to turn him away, but to protect him. She knew well the cost of defiance in such a lawless land, yet she chose courage over caution, hiding him beneath her bed despite the looming dangers that threatened to engulf them both. The man she hid, called James, carried with him a story of betrayal and survival. Marked by enemies on every side, he was forced to flee from the law and from those who sought vengeance for crimes both real and imagined. Mary saw beyond the stained past to the man beneath, the one willing to fight for justice and redemption. In the dim light of her cabin, they forged a fragile trust, a bond born not of blood but of necessity and hope. It was a secret kept with bated breath, each day passing with the fear of discovery and the weight of unspoken promises. Outside, the village was a powder keg of tension and unease. Rumors of the fugitive's whereabouts swirled through saloons and marketplaces, whispers carried on the wind that could ignite violence at any moment. Mary's neighbors eyed her with suspicion, sensing something hidden beneath her calm exterior. Yet she stood firm, shielding James with a fierce determination that stemmed from a profound belief in mercy and the possibility of second chances. Her quiet bravery became a silent rebellion against the unforgiving rules of their world. James, confined and hidden, spent his days planning not only for survival, but for a future where he could repay the kindness that had saved him. He knew that the path ahead would be treacherous, but Mary's unwavering support gave him the strength to endure. Together, they prepared for the moment when his flight would end, not with capture or death, but with a fight to protect the village that had shown him mercy. Their shared ordeal became a crucible that transformed fear into resolve and desperation into purpose. As nights grew colder and shadows lengthened, the bond between Mary and James deepened, built on trust, gratitude, and the shared understanding that they were bound together by fate. Each secret moment under the bed was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of compassion. The story of a woman who hid a fugitive was becoming more than legend. It was becoming a beacon of hope in a land defined by struggle and survival. The days that followed were filled with tension and preparation. Mary and James knew that time was limited. The hunters who pursued James were relentless, and discovery could come at any moment. Yet beneath the fear and uncertainty, a fierce determination took root. James worked tirelessly, not just to stay hidden, but to devise a plan to protect the village that had risked everything to shelter him. Mary, meanwhile, rallied her own quiet strength, tending to the cabin and gathering what supplies she could to aid the fugitives' cause. Rumors spread faster than wildfire throughout the village, igniting whispers of rebellion and betrayal. Some townsfolk feared James as a dangerous outsider, while others began to see him as a symbol of hope, proof that even the darkest past could be rewritten. Mary's unwavering support and bravery in hiding him earned her both respect and suspicion, positioning her as a pivotal figure in the unfolding drama. The stakes grew higher with each passing day, the fragile peace teetering on the edge of chaos. Amidst this turmoil, James began to forge alliances with villagers willing to stand against the looming threats. Quiet meetings were held under the cloak of night, where plans were made and trust was built. The fugitive was no longer alone. He was the spark that ignited a growing movement of resilience and defiance. Mary's home became a hub of whispered strategy and unbreakable hope, a sanctuary where the seeds of salvation were sown. But danger was never far behind. Scouts and bounty hunters prowled the outskirts, their presence a constant reminder of the peril that loomed. Mary and James knew that their time was running out. Yet, the growing strength of the community, fueled by courage and unity, gave them a fighting chance. Their story was no longer just about survival. It was about redemption, loyalty, and the fight to protect what they loved. As the month drew to a close, the village braced for a confrontation that would test their courage and resolve like never before. The fugitive they had hidden was preparing to return, not as a hunted man, but as a savior. And Mary, the woman who dared to defy the odds, stood ready to face whatever came next, united by a bond forged in fear, hope, and unyielding love. The village was on edge as the days slipped closer to the moment of reckoning. The once quiet streets buzzed with nervous anticipation, the townsfolk caught between fear and hope. Mary's brave act of hiding James had transformed from a secret into a symbol, one that united the community in ways no one had expected. Old grudges softened, and strangers became allies, all bound by a common purpose: to protect the man who had been sheltered under Mary's bed and, through him, defend their home from looming threats. The atmosphere was electric, a fragile balance between looming danger and the promise of salvation. James, though still wary of the violent world that pursued him, carried a newfound determination. He spent hours planning with those who had rallied to his cause, developing strategies that could turn the tide. His heart burned with gratitude for Mary's courage and for the villagers who had embraced him despite his past. The fugitive was becoming a leader, not through force, but through the respect earned by his willingness to fight for the safety of those who had risked everything for him. In his eyes, the village was no longer just a refuge, but a family worth every sacrifice. Mary, meanwhile, became a pillar of strength and hope. Her resolve, forged through hardship and tempered by love, inspired those around her. She moved among the villagers, offering comfort and encouragement, weaving a tapestry of unity that would hold strong when the storm finally broke. Though fear lingered, it was overshadowed by the collective courage of a community bound by trust and the knowledge that their fate was intertwined with the man they had chosen to protect. As the first signs of the approaching conflict appeared, scouts returning with news of the enemy's march, the village rallied. Men, women, and even children prepared in whatever ways they could, fortifying homes, sharpening weapons, and standing shoulder to shoulder. James and Mary's story had become a rallying cry, a testament to how even the most unlikely heroes could rise when given a chance. The coming battle was not just for survival, but for the future of a community reborn through compassion. Under the cover of night, plans were finalized and hearts steeled for what lay ahead. Mary and James shared a quiet moment, knowing that the coming days would test every ounce of their courage. But in that shared silence was a profound certainty. Together, they had already won by transforming fear into hope and strangers into family. The village was ready to face the dawn, united by the extraordinary bond born from an act of mercy beneath a bed. The day of reckoning dawned with a sky heavy with clouds, mirroring the tension that gripped the village. The enemy's forces, ruthless and numerous, approached with the intent to crush what they saw as weakness. Yet, as the riders gathered, ready to defend their home, there was an unspoken strength in their eyes, a fierce loyalty born from the very mercy that had brought James and Mary together. The man who had once been hunted was now the heart of their defense, a symbol of redemption and resilience. The battle was fierce and unrelenting. Dust and gunfire filled the air as the village fought with everything they had, each person driven by the desire to protect not just land, but the family they had chosen. James led the charge with courage tempered by gratitude, his every move a pledge to those who had risked everything for him. Mary's unwavering support bolstered the spirits of those around her, her quiet bravery a steady beacon amid the chaos. Though outnumbered, the village's unity proved a formidable force. The loyalty forged through shared hardship and trust held firm against the onslaught. Each victory was a testament to the power of compassion, a reminder that the bonds of mercy and love could outlast even the fiercest storms. The enemy, caught off guard by the fierce determination of a community united, was forced into retreat, their plans shattered by the strength born from an act of simple kindness. In the aftermath, the village stood battered but unbroken, their spirits lifted by a victory that was more than military. It was a triumph of heart and humanity. James and Mary, their bond deepened by the trials they had faced together, looked upon their home with pride and hope. Their journey from fear and hiding to leadership and salvation had become a legend, a story that would be told for generations. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the recovering village, Mary and James knew their lives, and the lives of those they had saved, would never be the same. Their story was a powerful reminder that courage, mercy, and loyalty could transform the darkest moments into the brightest legacies. In the wake of the battle, the village slowly began to rebuild, not just its homes and fences, but the fragile trust that hardship had once threatened to shatter. The people, inspired by the courage and unity they had witnessed, found a renewed sense of purpose and belonging. Mary's daring act of hiding James beneath her bed had blossomed into a powerful legacy of compassion and resilience, showing that even the smallest choices could ripple outwards to change countless lives. Their story became a foundation upon which the community would stand, a beacon of hope in the rugged frontier. James, no longer the hunted fugitive, embraced his new role as protector and leader. His past, though never forgotten, no longer defined him. Instead, it became a testament to the strength that comes from redemption and the unwavering loyalty born from mercy. He worked alongside Mary and the villagers to fortify their defenses, to teach the younger generation the values of courage and compassion, and to ensure that the sacrifices made would not be in vain. Their combined efforts laid the groundwork for a future where fear no longer ruled the land. Mary, once just a woman alone in a harsh world, found her courage recognized and respected by all. Her bravery in risking everything to protect a stranger had transformed her into a symbol of hope and strength. She continued to nurture the community with quiet determination, her heart deeply connected to the people and land she fought to save. Together with James, she forged a partnership that was as much about healing wounds as it was about defending borders. Yet the frontier remained unpredictable, and challenges continued to arise. Rival factions, envious of the village's newfound strength, sought to undermine their peace. But the bonds forged through shared struggle and mutual respect held firm, ready to face whatever new trials might come. The village was no longer just a place on the map. It was a family bound by loyalty and the memory of a woman's courage and a fugitive's redemption. As the seasons changed, the story of Mary and James spread beyond the village, inspiring others who faced darkness to believe in the power of mercy and unity. Their legacy was not only in the lives they saved, but in the hearts they touched, a reminder that in the wild, untamed West, love and courage could light the way through the darkest nights. The coming winter brought with it both hardship and reflection. Snow blanketed the plains, and the cold tested the resilience of every soul in the village. Yet, beneath the frost, a warmth persisted, born from the bonds of community and the enduring spirit of those who had chosen hope over fear. Caleb and Mary, standing side by side, found solace in the strength they had built together, a testament to the transformative power of kindness and loyalty in the face of adversity. The villagers, united by their shared experiences, supported one another through the long, harsh months. Fires burned bright in every home, and stories of courage and survival were shared late into the night, weaving a tapestry of resilience and hope. The memory of the fugitive hidden beneath the bed, and the woman who risked everything for him, became a cornerstone of their collective identity, a legend that offered comfort and inspiration. Outside, threats persisted, but the village faced them with a confidence that came from knowing they were not alone. The 50 riders who had once carried James through the town now patrolled the borders, vigilant and prepared. Their loyalty was unbreakable, forged in the fires of gratitude, and tempered by the knowledge that their strength was rooted in mercy and unity. They were not just protectors. They were guardians of a legacy that transcended the harshness of the land. Mary and James continued to lead with humility and courage, understanding that their journey was not just about survival, but about building a future worthy of the sacrifices made. They nurtured the next generation with lessons of forgiveness, resilience, and the power of chosen family. Their story was a beacon, shining through the storms and reminding all who heard it that even in the wildest places, love and loyalty could prevail. As the first signs of spring began to thaw the frozen earth, the village stood stronger than ever, ready to face the challenges ahead. The legacy of a woman who hid a fugitive under her bed, and the man who returned to save the village, lived on in every heart, a powerful testament to the extraordinary strength found in courage, mercy, and unbreakable bonds. Spring breathed new life into the village, and with it came a renewed sense of hope and possibility. The hardships of winter had tested the spirit of the people, yet their resilience proved unbreakable. Mary and James stood at the center of this rebirth, their bond stronger than ever, a symbol of courage and compassion that had inspired an entire community. The humble woman who once hid a fugitive beneath her bed was now recognized as the heart of a movement that defied the unforgiving nature of the West. Her bravery had transformed a story of survival into one of triumph and unity. James, once a man on the run, had fully embraced his role as protector and leader. His journey from hunted to hero was marked by the fierce loyalty of the 50 riders who stood ready to defend the village at a moment's notice. Their watchful eyes scanned the horizon, knowing that peace in the West was often fleeting. Yet, armed with the lessons of mercy and trust, they faced every challenge with unwavering resolve. Together, they embodied the powerful truth that strength rooted in compassion could overcome even the darkest threats. The village itself blossomed, its streets alive with laughter, its homes filled with warmth and light. The story of Mary and James echoed in every corner, carried in whispered legends and heartfelt conversations. It was a story that spoke not only of bravery, but of the transformative power of kindness in a world often ruled by fear and violence. Neighbors who once kept to themselves now came together as one, united by a shared past and a hopeful future. Yet, beneath this surface of renewal, dangers still lurked. Rival factions and old enemies watched from the shadows, waiting for a moment to strike. But Mary and James were prepared. Their leadership was not just about battle tactics, but about nurturing a spirit of unity and trust that made the village a fortress no force could easily breach. They understood that the greatest defense lay in the strength of their community's bonds forged in adversity and strengthened by love. As the sun set behind the rolling hills, casting long shadows over a land still wild but forever changed, Mary and James stood side by side, ready to face whatever trials lay ahead. Their journey was a testament to the power of courage, mercy, and the unbreakable bonds of chosen family. A legacy that would endure long after the last gunshot faded into the frontier dusk. Summer's warmth brought both growth and new challenges to the village. The prosperity that followed their victory attracted attention, drawing in those who sought to disrupt the peace and claim what the community had built. But Mary and James, fortified by their shared journey and the loyalty of their riders, stood steadfast. They met each threat with a blend of wisdom and courage, knowing that the true strength of the village lay not only in arms, but in hearts united by a common cause. Josiah's story, the shoemaker who repaired the stranger's shoe, was not forgotten, but intertwined with the tale of Mary and James, weaving a rich tapestry of human kindness and resilience. Each small act, each choice to stand for mercy over vengeance, had built a foundation that could not be easily shaken. The village was more than a collection of homes. It was a family, bound by stories of bravery and love that transcended bloodlines. Rival factions tested the village's resolve with skirmishes and sabotage, but the community's spirit remained unbroken. Caleb's 50 riders moved with precision and purpose, their loyalty a living shield around the people they had sworn to protect. The lessons learned in the shadows of trust, sacrifice, and forgiveness had become their greatest weapons. With every victory, their legend grew, inspiring others to believe in the power of unity and compassion in the harshest of lands. Amid the challenges, moments of peace and celebration reminded the villagers of what they fought for. Gatherings around campfires, shared meals, and stories of the journey that had brought them together nourished not just their bodies, but their souls. Mary and James's leadership was defined by these moments, moments that healed wounds and strengthened bonds, ensuring that their legacy would be one of hope as well as courage. As the long summer days gave way to the cool nights of autumn, the village stood resilient and proud. Their story, a tale of a woman who had a fugitive under her bed, and the man who returned to save them all, remained a powerful reminder that even in the wildest frontiers, the strength to choose mercy and build family could shape destinies and light the way through the darkest times. The approaching autumn winds carried a sense of both reflection and anticipation across the village. The trials they had faced together forged an unbreakable spirit, a community resilient against the relentless forces of the frontier. Mary and James, now pillars of this thriving town, watched with pride as their shared courage inspired a new generation. The 50 riders who had carried James through the streets now trained the youth, passing down the lessons of loyalty, mercy, and sacrifice. Their story was more than history. It was a living legacy, breathed into every corner of the land they had fought to protect. But even as peace settled over the village, the shadows of the past lingered. Old enemies stirred beyond the horizon, their grudges unwilling to fade. Caleb, Mary, and their riders remained vigilant, understanding that the West was a land where peace was hard-won and easily lost. Yet their strength was no longer just physical. It was the unyielding bond of a community built on trust, kindness, and shared sacrifice. Their readiness was a promise to protect not just their homes, but the ideals that had united them. James often found himself reflecting on that fateful night when Mary hid him beneath her bed, a moment that had reshaped his destiny. From hunted fugitive to honored protector, his journey was a testament to the transformative power of mercy. Josiah's simple act of repairing a shoe, Mary's courageous defiance, and the village's collective loyalty had created a force that no enemy could easily dismantle. It was a story of hope amidst hardship, a beacon for all who dared to believe in redemption. The village itself had grown from a fragile settlement into a thriving community, sustained not only by the land's bounty, but by the strength of its people's hearts. Their homes stood firm against the winds of change, their fences a symbol of the protection born from compassion and unity. In every smile and handshake, the legacy of Mary and James lived on, proof that even in the wildest frontiers, humanity's greatest strength is found in the courage to forgive and the willingness to stand together. As twilight fell and stars began to pierce the sky, Mary and James stood on the ridge overlooking their village, a testament to all they had endured and all they had built. Their story was far from over, but it had already become legend. A powerful reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can carry the greatest weight, shaping the course of history for generations to come. The final chapter of Mary and James's journey was written not in battles or grand gestures, but in the quiet strength of a community united by love and resilience. Their story had become a foundation upon which the village thrived, a beacon of hope that reached beyond the rugged mountains and endless plains. The legacy of the woman who hid a fugitive under her bed and the man who returned to save the village was etched into the hearts of all who called this place home. James, now a leader respected not for his past, but for his deeds, guided the community with wisdom tempered by compassion. His 50 riders remained loyal, not out of fear, but from a shared belief in the power of mercy and the bonds of chosen family. Their vigilance ensured that the village remained safe, a sanctuary where trust and forgiveness were valued above all else. Together, they embodied the idea that strength is measured not only by courage in battle, but by the capacity to nurture and protect. Mary's quiet courage continued to inspire, her story a reminder that bravery often comes in the form of simple choices. Choices to protect, to forgive, and to hope. Her legacy was carried forward in every act of kindness, every hand extended in friendship, and every barrier broken by trust. She had shown that even in a world ruled by hardship, the heart's capacity for mercy could rewrite destinies. As the seasons turned and new stories blossomed, the village stood as a testament to the enduring power of compassion and unity. Mary and James's journey had changed not only their lives, but the course of an entire community. Their tale was a beacon for all who sought hope in dark times, proof that even in the wild, untamed West, love and loyalty could light the way forward. And so, beneath the endless sky, with the wind whispering their legend across the plains, Mary and James faced the future together, ready to meet whatever challenges lay ahead with hearts full of courage, hope, and an unbreakable bond forged in kindness. In the rugged and often unforgiving world of the Old West, the story of Mary and James teaches us a timeless truth, that courage and compassion can carve out hope even in the harshest landscapes. Their journey, from hiding a fugitive beneath a bed to standing united as protectors of their village, reminds us that even the smallest acts of bravery and kindness can change destinies and build unbreakable bonds. This story is not just about survival. It is about the transformative power of mercy and the human spirit's capacity to rise above fear and hatred. Throughout their ordeal, we see how love and loyalty can create families beyond bloodlines and communities beyond geography. Mary's bold decision to shelter James was a spark that ignited a flame of trust and unity, illuminating a path toward redemption and peace. It challenges us to reflect on our own lives and ask, where can we show courage? Where can we offer mercy that might change someone's story? Their legacy invites us all to believe that transformation begins with one act of kindness. As you carry this story with you, consider the power you hold in your own hands, the power to choose forgiveness over vengeance, to build bridges where walls once stood. The journey of Mary and James is a beacon, guiding us toward a more compassionate world, where strength is measured by the hearts we touch and the communities we build. It is a reminder that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph of hope. If this story touched your heart, join our growing community by subscribing to the channel, where stories of bravery, redemption, and humanity inspire every day. Like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice is a vital part of this journey. By engaging, you help keep these powerful narratives alive and spread the message that kindness can change everything. Share your own experiences of courage or mercy with us. Your story might be the light someone else needs in their darkest hour. Together, let's build a legacy of hope, strength, and unbreakable bonds, one story at a time.